Hello and welcome. You have tuned into Buy Now, Sell Now and ET Now. I'm Shrishti Sharma and with me Cheryl D'Souza. And viewers, this is the show where you get answers for all your stock-related queries. In a short while from now, we will connect with our experts where you get a chance to ask all your stock-related queries to us, and we will try to take as many queries as possible. But clearly, it's a cheerful market, Cheryl. The kind of positive global cues that we have, Nifty scaling the all-time high levels, and similar is the case for Bank Nifty.
Absolutely a great joyous day coming in for the benchmark indices. We've hit record high levels once again when it comes to our benchmark indices. The reason for that being that the Federal Reserve has surprised the markets by signaling 75 basis points worth of rate cuts come next year. That is much more than what they previously anticipated, and no doubt the Fed left the rate unchanged as well in yesterday's FOMC meet outcome. Although you had the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, sounding a bit cautious, but the fact that they have surprised the markets by signaling 75 basis point worth of rate cut come next year. You can see the cheer across the street when it comes to at least Indian markets. US markets also ended at a high, but Indian markets scaling fresh record high levels. And IT sector, the ones that was actually taking a back foot today, actually is firing on all cylinders, be it Infosys, TCS, HCL Tech Mahindra. All of them seem good gains. Nifty IT index that's trading higher by about 3% as we speak. Let's take a look at what Nifty Bank is doing. That one is actually seeing a tad bit of outperformance when you compare it to the benchmark indices. Nifty Bank trading higher by about 1.5% as we speak. Talking about the list of gainers, and it should not come as a surprise that the top three gainers on the Nifty are from the IT pack, and it's LTI, HCL Tech as well as Tech Mahindra among the top gainers on the Nifty, followed by Bajaj Finance as well as Wipro, that is actually among the top gaining list. While on the flip side is the insurance pack that is taking it a bit easy, but HDFC Life, that's the one that's seeing a sharper knock right now, is about 2% downtick coming in for HDFC Life. Power Grid, BPCL, Cipla, Nestle are the other set of losers. Suffice to say, the advanced decline ratio very much still tilted in the favor of the gainers. Talking of the sectoral indices, all of them are in the positive territory, with the IT index taking the lead along with realty index that are seeing good gains in today's trading session. Let's take a look at where the broader markets are actually at this point in time, and it's a surprise looking at the way how the broader markets are performing, because a tad bit of underperformance coming in from the broader markets when you compare it to the benchmark indices. So that's the way how the markets are looking like at this point in time. Shrishti, yes, cheerful day coming in for the benchmark indices, but all eyes will be on the auto sector, especially the two-wheeler auto sector, isn't it? Given the fact that we are hearing all the murmurs of Ola Electric finally going ahead and filing their DRHP, we yet to get a certain with the timing, but it's a new kid on the block.
I don't believe, Cheryl, that we have to wait much, because just next week the reports are saying that Ola will be going ahead to file DRHP with SEBI, and then maybe at the start of January 2024 we will see the IPO flowing in for Ola Electric. But the case in point being, because for today if we see, then definitely yes, the auto sector is quite muted, but given the kind of a run-up that we have seen, there feels like that there is a case for a re-rating in all these two-wheeler counters. Definitely there is a push from the demand side post the festive. The demand has been catching up, but for Ola Electric specifically, the kind of valuations that they are looking to raise money at is something that is giving some push to other listed two-wheeler counters as well. Let's first tell you that what Ola Electric could be offering then the report suggests that they are looking to raise around 5,800 crores via this particular IPO at a valuation of $7 to $8 billion, which in Indian rupee is 57,400 to 65,600 crores. Do remember, Ola Electric in the whole two-wheeler EV space has a market share of 33%, and at that market share, they are looking at a valuation of 57,400 crores. Now in the listed space, which are its peers, TVS Motors, Bajaj Auto and Hero MotoCorp. Given their market share, let's try and find out that what could be their expected valuation of their EV division given their market share with respect to the valuation that Ola is demanding. Then TVS Motors is the leader there, just after Ola, which holds around 21% market share. Then at this particular market share, their EV division could have a market cap of around 36,527 crores, which with respect and as a percentage of TVS Motors' whole market around 38%. Similar calculation can be done for Bajaj Auto and Hero MotoCorp on your screens, but Eicher Motors, as we know, that in 2025 we will see its first electric motorcycle, so that is out of the list. But given the kind of a valuation that Ola is looking out for with a 33% market share, then analysts believe that there could be some valuation gap with respect to all these other two-wheeler majors as well. But we need to take in point that all these two-wheelers in the listed space, they are not profitable as of now, but market always look out for the future prospects of growth, and companies have been confident. Like for, if we discuss TVS Motors, then iQube electric scooter has been a roaring success. For the past 6 to 7, 8 months, their electric two-wheeler market share has been over 20%, and they've increased their capacity as well. But lastly, on the valuation metrics, if we say, then taking note of their EV as well as ICE portfolio, then TVS Motors definitely priced expensively given the run-up. It's almost around 35 times, while for Bajaj Auto and Hero MotoCorp, they still look attractive on those front.
All right, that's an exhaustive lowdown on what does Ola Electric DRHP mean, especially for the two-wheeler companies that are listed and are already actually catering to the EV space. But let's hear out a view coming in from ET Now and ET Now Swadesh's managing editor Nikunj Zamia, what he feels of this entire prospect of Ola Electric coming in or filing his DRHP and also hitting the bourses.
Let's look at the setting in the auto space. You got TVS, which genuinely has really taken a giant leap forward in the EV space. You got Bajaj Auto, where the EV business has started, and it could be at least 3-4 years before it will have a meaningful impact personally on the balance sheet of Bajaj. And Hero MotoCorp, I guess, is just not there. Now, I mean, if the entire two-wheeler sector was going through the stress, you would have not seen this kind of a divergence in terms of valuation. So what are markets telling you? Go for EV. What are markets telling you? Companies which in a sense have got a future EV ready portfolio, that's the future you really want to bet on. And interestingly, Anisha, this all is happening when the FLAME 2 subsidy has been taken out. So now auto companies in a sense have to really fend themselves independently. What had happened because of the FLAME 2 subsidy, there were a lot of small players which had suddenly come into the two-wheeler space. Now all those experimental small companies in a sense are feeling the heat. So the way the EV space is moving, that you've got TVS from the listed space, which has got market leader. Ola has been the disruptor there, and if Ola goes public, we've always seen that the rub-off effect which already it could have. So if you remember on Monday, I think we discussed Ola is going public, and today if you look at the TVS stock price in last 5 days itself, the stock has already seen a rub-off effect of that. Unfortunately, Hero MotoCorp has really gone behind the race. So Ola filing for DRHP, this one's going to gain. Ola filing for DRHP, maybe three-wheeler companies like Atul Auto or companies which have a EV presence. So it's all about EV. 2023 was all about Tata Motors. 2022 was all about Mahindra & Mahindra EV, and now I think it's going to be Ola and the rub-off effect it will have on the entire EV space per se.
Okay, so that's the editor's take on Ola Electric upcoming IPO and its likely rub-off effect on the other two-wheeler two-wheeler counters. But since we are talking about the auto space and two-wheelers is what we have discussed, but as of now, let's shift focus to the passenger vehicle segment, because analysts believe that the kind of demand momentum is actually getting tepid post the festive season, and SUVs market share is likely to top out for Maruti Suzuki. But we also got Shashank Srivastava on our channel today, so let's hear out from him. What's the outlook for the company going ahead?
On the stock side, I think the beginning of December stock was a little higher than what normally is for the December beginning. Remember, in December, industry tries to keep the stock levels down because of the model year change. Therefore, it's very crucial in December to have very large retails, and that's what all the OEMs are trying to do. So, and you can also see the wholesale numbers this month will be lower in the industry. Our market share currently around the 22.3% in the SUV sector. Hopefully, we will add a little bit more. Of course, the target with this 50% of the segments of the industry being the SUV segment if you do a back of the envelope calculation with a 65% share in the non-SUV, we need to get to about 35% in the SUV sector to get to 50% overall. So still we have a lot of ground to cover. We are happy currently with the 20 to 23%, but obviously we have to aim up to about 35% in the medium term in order to achieve the objective of 50% share.
All right, so that's the word coming in from Maruti Suzuki management when it comes to their market share when it talks about the SUV space. But let's bring on board our guest for today. We have Vivek Karwa joining us on the fundamental side, while on the technical front we have Kunal Bothra. And good morning to both of you gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. And Vivek, I hope the situation has settled in Chennai this after the floods that it had faced on back of that cyclone. I hope everything is normalized there right now.
Cheryl, and good morning to all the panelists. See, the situation is still settling, and there is a yellow alert today for tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So,
Fingers crossed.
I don't know what is going to happen.
Yeah, fingers crossed it doesn't have that much of damage. But let's talk about Ola Electric, the fact that it is going to file a DRHP very soon, IPO likely even sooner. Do you think that will actually dent the two-wheeler players that are already listed? A sign of worry for them, or do you think it is good because it will re-rate the entire segment?
As far as Ola's valuation is concerned, I think the frenzy is because of frenzy in the IPO market overall. Because whichever IPO is coming, people are just grabbing them, and there is overvaluation kind of situation in IPO side, and which even the SEBI is very, very clear about it, that the price discovery mechanism has to be totally changed. So that is one thing. And the other thing, because of this valuation, maybe after listing, the valuations can derate on Ola's side, and maybe get some additional valuation on the listed space. So that would bridge the gap. Now, what I find is, of course, Hero Motors, Hero MotoCorp, everybody is ruling. They have a big stake in Ather EV. And this Ather, I think, has the best reputation today's date in the market. To whomever I speak, they are really valuing the company as the best EV two-wheelers. And I also think that over a long period, after 5 years, maybe as Nikunj was saying that the numbers on the balance sheets will take 3 to 4 years to reflect. But I think after 5 years, 90% sales would be only of EV. So there are a lot of things, a lot of actions which will happen. But due to this listing, I don't think there'll be a re-rating as such. Maybe there should be de-rating of Ola as time progresses. But if you look at 5 years, I think all the companies are going to do well, and Hero Moto can be a dark horse because of Ather.
Among the two-wheeler space, Vivek believes that Hero MotoCorp could be the dark horse, but don't believe that there is a case in point for re-rating these two-wheeler counters. Totally take your point, Vivek, but coming on the chart front, Kunal, all these two-wheeler counters are seeing no stopping, especially from the likes of TVS Motors. Other than that, even Bajaj Auto hitting an all-time high, and Hero MotoCorp showing also good moves. Any stock that is still standing out and you are still bullish on?
So I'll still stick to the performing names. So Hero MotoCorp is something which looks attractive even at current levels. Eicher Motors is something which I think about at 4,000 levels has given a strong breakout, and the stock apparently has been going through that classic patch of rally as well as a mild consolidation and a correction. So I think that's another stock to look out for. TVS Motors has been on a phenomenal uptrend right throughout the last couple of years, in fact much more than that. So it seems like this uptrend would continue for the stock even from current levels. But in terms of a fresh breakout, I think Hero MotoCorp as well as Eicher Motors are something which look attractive.
All right, so those are the takes coming in from both of our experts when it comes to the two-wheeler space. On that note, we slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. When we come back, we'll start taking your queries. Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now Sell Now on ET Now, a show where we get you answers for all of your stock-related queries. Remember, viewers, you can connect with us live on our WhatsApp number, and we will take your queries to our experts. Talking about our experts, today we have Kunal Bothra as well as Vivek Karwa, who are joining us on the show. Once again, good morning to both of you, and let me kickstart the query with the first query that I have. This one is coming from Balan, and he has a couple of stocks, Kunal, that he's in profits. One is Carousel, Advanced Enzymes, and Motilal Oswal. While on the flip side, Pokarna and Hemant Singh side are the ones that he is suffering losses. Which one of these do you think makes sense for him to stay put with or exit?
So, specifically from the losing side, if that's the question, then I would believe Himmat Singh's side is where you should continue to hold on. Pokarna also, I think, seems to be an okay kind of a chart. It's not as if that the stock has been a huge underperformer. Yes, it's gone through its fair share of consolidation, but I think the chart setup on the longer term basis is also very attractive. From the other names which you mentioned, I think Carousel as well as Advanced Enzymes, specifically over here, Advanced Enzymes seems to be a much more stronger and a powerful chart already above that breakout. I think the breakout point for Advanced Enzyme was around 340-45 mark. It's already above those levels. And for Carousel, the breakout is just about that 900 level. So there could be a potential for you to even add further if you're looking to add Carousel. Most of the other stocks in your portfolio which you've mentioned, I think warrants a hold.
Okay, moving on then, and the next query that I have is coming from Gauri and Vivek. This query is on Tanla platforms. Gauri has bought these shares at a price of 1400 rupees, and it's been she wants to keep it for a medium term. So, what's your outlook on this one? Should she continue to hold on since she's at a loss?
Srishti, I think the stock should bottom out over here, and the IT sector and IT related ITs both should start recovering from here post maybe US election. So you will have to wait a bit, but I think the company at this ratio, ratio of 0.32, and almost the company has been delivering 96% growth in the profits. So it is quite undervalued at this price. So 1400 is not impossible. You will surely get it.
Okay, Vivek Karwa, coming to you. The next query is coming from Sagar and he wants your view coming in on Concord Biotech. He got an IPO allotment and he's continuing to hold on to this counter. He's saying the company seems to be progressing well and he's also done some ground check and he's got some positive response when it comes to this counter. Do you think this particular stock or the company has a potential to become really big in the next 4 to 5 years? Stay put with this one.
Shril, see, now commenting for next 4 to 5 years, today's date is next to impossible because the dynamics are there are so many moving parts in the market, and pharma particularly, you never know what is going to happen after 6 months also. So you'll have to keep analyzing it. As of now, the company looks good, but after this run up, the valuation also looks a bit stretched. So I would be happy if you keep booking profit slowly when it goes up and keep again re-entering when the stock corrects. So overall, company is good, but valuations wise, I'm uncomfortable.
Okay, moving on then, and the next query that I have, Kunal, is from Madhuri, and she wants a short-term outlook on a couple of names, and she wants to know which one of them is looking attractive and poised for a momentum maybe. Century Ply, Welspun Corp, Puravankara, as well as Hero MotoCorp. Out of these four, any stock that you like at this point?
Well, I think difficult to choose just one or two names from the pack. But I think Century Ply is something which looks attractive. It's given a very recent breakout about the previous highs. Again, I think 720 approximately was the previous high for Century Ply, and I'm talking of the last, I think, 1 or 2 years where the stock was consolidating and taking a resistance. So you can prefer that. Wellcorp is an altogether different stock, because the way in which the stock has moved in the last 7 or 8 months, if I'm not wrong, it's almost consecutive last 8 months of price action for Wellcorp. So this also indicates that there is a big trend in the making on the upside, for the stock breaking past about series of resistances. So you can probably prefer that as well.
All right, moving on then. This one is coming in from Debashish from Kolkata, and he wants to know which one would be a good bet for Christmas and New Year season in the hotel and hospitality space. He's already holding IHCL, about 250 stocks at the price of now at 423. Yeah, I think the price is 423 that he bought IHCL. I'm unsure. He's asking, is there any recommendation for buying for short term for the seasonal returns, Kunal? Do you think the time has passed to bet on these counters given the fact that with a view of holiday season, or do you think there's still some more good bets in the hotel and hospitality space?
See, I think one thing is very certain, that don't try and time these stocks or trade these stocks from a special situation or an event perspective. So if you're looking at it as just a summer play or kind of a theme, then I don't sense that it makes sense to buy these stocks. You have to have a time horizon as well as a vision of maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, if not more. I think if you have that kind of a time frame as well as vision to hold on to the stock, only then it makes sense to buy these names. You can, if not Indian Hotels in full quantity, you can look to maybe buy partial holdings over here for the stock. You can also look to add, Lemon Tree as well as Chalet Hotel. Those are also looking attractive. EIH is something which we've been bullish on earlier. That's a stock also which has done reasonably well. A more high beta stock, but I think you can probably prefer that as well from a long-term play.
Okay, Kunal, once again coming to you because this query is on Ratan India, and Raja has been asking this query since a while now, and he wants to know the medium-term target on this one. He has already bought these shares at a price of 60 rupees, and as far as I remember, during Diwali, you have recommended this stock, and this stock has done pretty well since then.
Yes, Srishti, and I think 88 or 90 was the targets which I had highlighted for the stock in a time span of Diwali to Diwali, but fortunately it just happened before Christmas. So it's a good sign that the stock has come back into momentum. Now, what matters over here is two important points. One is the time horizon as well as your risk appetite. Now, if you've bought with an assumption or with an idea to try and trade or look out for short-term gains, then I think at current levels you can look to book out profits. Unless you are okay to hold on to the stock in terms of the next 1 to 2 years, because the chart potential over here looks to be fairly attractive for Ratan India. The stock in the last 2 quarters has given exponential jump in terms of the volumes, and that's come after almost 8 or 9 quarters of the stock going into a correction, which means that this may not be a short-lived move, but the stock should see a substantial upside over the next 1 to 2 years.
Now, one more coming your way. NMDC is the stock. Snigdha wants to know what would be the target for NMDC for next year.
I think I'll probably place it to maybe 250 to 80 levels for NMDC. Very bullish on the stock. I think the kind of chart patterns which we are observing on the stock price in that kind of a time span is quite exceptional. The stock has confirmed multiple indicator breakouts. I think from 145, 44 levels when we first spotted the stock, we're still riding on to the trend for NMDC. Looks attractive. I would suggest maybe keep 250 to 80 as a target.
Okay, 250 to 80 targets coming for NMDC. But moving on from the paper space, Vivek, what's your view on JK Paper? Mahesh, who is a senior citizen, has been holding 150 shares at a price of 331 rupees. He can continue to hold this one with a next 1 year investment horizon. Should he continue to hold on or maybe exit at this point?
Cheryl, I would suggest him to slowly book profits, particularly now I have a lot of friends in paper industry, and most of these paper companies are, they were doing earlier well, but now that plateau has been touched. And I feel that on dips, the company would look interesting. Now, valuation wise, JK Paper is the most highly valued compared to all other companies. But if you look at the P's of all paper, they'll all be in single digits. So they look very, very attractive. But historically, they generally don't cross 6, 7 P, and JK is already at around 6. So on rise, it will be a profit booking time. And there's a lot of pressure from China. I don't know what the government is looking.
All right, on that note, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. When we come back, we'll continue taking your query, viewers.
Welcome back to Buy Now Sell Now, show where we get you answers for all your stock related queries. And today onto the show we have Kunal as well as Vivek with us to guide you better. And Vivek, coming to you for the first query. This one is from B. Vijayanan, and I guess he's writing to us for the first time, and he wants to know your take on Tata Technologies. Is it advisable to buy Tata Technologies at current market price?
Shrishti, I think it is fairly valued over here. Now, see, whatever craze, and just like how we were talking about Ola Electric, the craze is just until the listing. And once the listing happens, it becomes a listed company and it starts commanding valuations as per the peer group. So Tata Technologies, this rate looks quite stretched. Company would do well. Of course, all Tata companies are doing well. But I find that if it goes below 1,000, it would be a really great value buy again. So at these prices, I would book profit.
All right, moving on then, this one is coming in from Vishal. He's writing to us from Dubai. He wants a long-term view, but he wants both fundamental as well as technical view for Sterling Wilson Solar. He wants to know whether he can add some more on dips. The fact that he's saying, or he's asking if he can add some more on dips, Vivek, I believe he already has this in his portfolio. Do you think this one has good, bright prospects going ahead? We've seen a change in their ownership as well. So what's your take coming in for Sterling and Wilson Solar? And Kunal, after Vivek, I would ask you if he can buy some more at this price right now. Vivek, you can go first.
See, longer term, yes, I think you should buy. And if you look at this space, Sterling and Wilson Solar, Borosil Glass, and the third name, I'm not, it's just not coming out. But these are the only three companies which are which have expertise in this area. And after the dip, in fact, when the dip was there, I was recommending people to buy. It has recovered. Longer term, the prospects are really good. And it's a Reliance Group company today. So the fundamentals don't have to be worried as much, and they would get right funding as and when needed.
Okay, moving on then, and the next query that I have is from Pradeep Kunal, and he has 10 shares of InfoEdge bought at a price of 3,800 rupees, and he also has 30 shares of K Stove Souls. I'm not sure whether you tracked this one or not, but he has bought this counter at a price of 440 rupees. So should he continue to hold on? He can keep this these shares with an investment horizon for the next 2 to 3 years. So I want a long-term view on these.
Yeah, I think both the stocks and the charts look attractive. Specifically, I think InfoEdge or Naukri, I think after months of, in fact, years of consolidation, if I'm not wrong, rather quarters of consolidation, 2021, second half or the mid part is where the stock topped out or formed a top of 6,500 or higher than that. And from there, the stock in the last 2 years had corrected to sub 4,000 levels. Now it's clearly ending a phase of a major correction, which could be behind to the stock price. I strongly believe that this could be a significant point of turnaround for InfoEdge. So if you are a long-term investor, which it seems like from your buy price as well as from your holding capacity, I would suggest to stay put into both of the names.
All right. The next query that I have is coming in from a viewer who is a senior citizen, Rajiv. He wants to know whether he should buy TVS Supply Services as well as GSFC Kunal for a period of 6 months.
You mentioned TVS.
Supply Services, I think, is TVS Supply Chain.
Okay, and the second one was?
GSFC.
So GSFC is what I would recommend. TVS Supply Chain, I don't track. I think it's recently listed, if I'm not wrong. Just 2-3 months of price history, and in that also I think the stock has gone through a correction. So I would suggest to stay away. But GSFC is something which looks attractive. In fact, we've tracked the stock from that 150-55 odd mark towards a point when the stock had consolidated. It had become very high beta, I think closer to 175 odd levels, and now about 225 mark. I think it's fairly poised for a breakout on the long-term basis. So that's a stock which I would suggest from the two names.
Okay, moving on. And Vivek, the next query is specifically for you. This one is from Krish, and he's holding 75 shares of Trent from a price of 2,965 rupees. Can he hold this counter with a 3 years investment horizon, since the stock is showing no signs of weaknesses, but the stock has already given a great run up? So do you believe that the kind of a premium valuation that Trent is trading at, it will continue for the next 3 years as well, and it could reflect in the stock price?
Shrishti, there can be a say stagnation in the prices. That is quite possible, but I don't think there would be any sell call on this, because overall the textile industry is doing good. First thing. Secondly, government has a lot of focus on textiles, and there might be fresh PLIs which might come up for the sector. And thirdly, it is a Tata Group company. So overall, if you look at textile industry, there are companies which you can actually bet on. So valuation-wise, yes, it looks really extremely, say, overstretched. But that's the reason I'm saying it. There could be a stagnation. But if you're looking for long-term, yes, you'll have to go through the stagnation phase, but you'll again make good returns.
I believe I missed asking you on Sterling and Wilson Solar, the technical view. Can Vishal go ahead and buy some more on dips right now?
So I think it's a fantastic chart, because a stock which had fallen down from 400 to sub 300 in a matter of 2 months has recovered from 300 back towards 420 plus mark. But the only catch is that with such kind of high beta names, you will always get a better entry point. So you should never try and buy these stocks on momentum or at the peak of momentum. There'll be a point when these stocks may get into an odd correction, a 10%, 20% correction, of course, depending on the way the stocks have rallied up. Try and take advantage of that. Currently, I think the stock is placed at 420. So I would believe maybe 380, 85 could be a better level to enter the stock.
All right, the next one is coming in from Ranjit, who's writing to us from Gurgaon. Kunal, Aarti drugs, I believe it would be, right? He wants to know if he can buy this one at current price and hold on to this for the short to long term.
Not an attractive chart, so I think it's done reasonably well, but I would probably believe that there are far more better names if you're looking at it as a traditional pharma, from the traditional pharma sector. So I would not give a higher preference towards Aarti Drugs.
Aarti Pharma, there you go. That's the counter that he's asking about. Have you seen the charts of Aarti Pharma?
Even that stock, I think, recently listed name. In fact, this stock has been actually doing pretty well from 340 levels to 480.85, where it's trading right now. So this could be preferred.
Okay, Vivek, what's your I beg your pardon. This query is specifically for you, Kunal. And Kurian is a senior citizen holding 500 shares of Wonderla Holidays from a price of 345 rupees. For the past 2 years, he's been holding. The stock did touch an all-time high, close to 1,000 odd levels, but now drifting lower. Do you believe that it's a good stock to continue to hold on, or should he book out profits?
It's a good stock, but then the last month or so, I think if I'm not wrong, the RSI levels for the stock price had gone into a way overbought territory. So I think, we were looking at RSIs of 80-85 as a normal zone of overbought, but the RSIs for Wonderla had crossed about the 90 levels. And I think that's one of the major reasons why this month you're seeing the stock down some 12-13% so far. I would believe that this could be at least another 2 months of correction. So possibility of the stock coming back towards 750, 775 is very much high. So if you can endure that correction of another 100 points, then stay put. Else you can book profits over here and look to buy back on dips.
All right, on that note, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. More queries on the other side. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. And let's continue taking your queries. And this one is coming to you, Vivek. This one is coming from Sayak. He's writing to us from Bangalore. He's been holding a couple of counters for a while. HUL, he's been holding at a price of 2,297. He has Rallis India at a price of 242 and AMD Industries, I'm not sure if you track this one, at a price of 94 rupees per share. He wants to know whether it makes sense to book profits in the companies where he is making good, healthy profits, or should he stay put with them for the longer term and try to ride the tide?
Shril, HUL is no-brainer. Everybody knows about the company, and long period, if you look at this company, will still give you better returns than your FD and everything else. So you should hold on. Rallis India, the real rally in chemicals and fertilizers is still pending. So I think you should do that also. And again, it's a Tata Group company. I don't know why so many Tata Group companies are coming up today. And AMD, see, again, government is really focusing a lot on semiconductor and chips. So AMD is again one of the prominent player in that space. So it might actually do well. Now, exact targets I will not be able to give now because how this will unfold, the story will unfold on semiconductors is not known. But yes, it looks interesting again.
Okay, but with this, viewers, let's kickstart taking all your queries in the rapid fire session. And the first query is for you, Kunal. Subrata Mukherjee wants to buy Infosys for a medium to long-term investment horizon. Is this a good time to get into?
Yeah, it's a very good time to buy Infosys. If you want, you can even add other large cap names like Wipro and TCS.
All right, Vivek, this one is for you from Sri from Cochin. He's holding 250 shares of AB Capital at a price of 167.77 odd rupees. Should he continue to hold or exit?
You should hold it and wait for the say demerger in this company to happen.
Kunal, what's your view on discount dog? Jay Krishnan is holding 150 shares from a price of 664 rupees. Should he book out profits in this one and rather buy HAL?
If you're a long-term investor, then I think you should not make that switch.
All right, Kunal, Chandrasekhar from Chennai wants to know about Sona Comstar, 500 shares, average price 590 rupees per share. He can hold on for the next 6 months. What strategy should he use, average or just stay put with what he has?
Stay put, average if the stock dips back towards 520, 525.
Okay, Vivek, the next query is on Berger Paints. Rima is holding 70 shares from a price of 579 rupees. In this bull run, the stock hasn't participated yet, but what's the outlook going ahead?
You should hold on. In fact, it looks little more valued than Asian Paints, but both are equal right now. So I would hold on. And the crude oil going down is a great advantage.
Kunal, Najib from Kerala has Suzlon 50,000 shares at a price of 22 rupees per share. You think makes sense for him to stay put for next 1 year or look to exit?
I think you should look to book partial profits at least.
Okay, Kunal, an FNO query from Vikas. View on December expiry from current levels for below the price of 615 for UPL. This query is on UPL. Do you believe that for December expiry this stock could stay below 615?
Yeah, looks like.
All right, Kunal, another one coming for you from Sitaram, and he wants to know about Sonata Tech that's available on bonus price, and Newgen is waiting for bonus. Which one of these two you suggest that he stays put with? And he's thank you for DLF suggestion.
Thank you. So Newgen is what I would prefer out of the two.
Okay, but with this, viewers, it's time's up in this edition of Rapid Fire as well as on the Buy Now Sell Now show. Thank you so much, Kunal and Vivek, for joining us today and helping all our viewers resolve their stock-related queries. But with this, it's a goodbye from me and Cheryl and the entire team who put the show together. Thanks so much for watching, but don't go anywhere. Markets at noon will take the action ahead.